Alright, first and foremost, I want to give call Allah Yahweh by Hashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai. All praises to the Most High God. In the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. It's your brother, times upon you by Yahweh, coming back at you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai with an edifying video. This is another installment of Who's the Father. I started this series probably about a good 6 months back, when I went into Sasha Banks, who is I think, multi-time WWE champion, women's champion, that is of Israelite descent. Went into her father's background, her paternal ancestry, and come to find out she's a black woman. So that's what prompted me to do this series. Just going into a lot of celebrity lineage to just see if it checks out, to see who they are, who they go back to. So I was having a discussion with my woman a few months back, and she made the statement that we, Hebrew Israelites, of those of us that subscribe to the 12 Tribes chart, would just say Selma Hayek is a flat-out Issacharite just because she lives in Mexico. Or, it calls her a Mexican-American actress, which I detest that statement, because the first thing we see, and y'all can see this on multiple videos, when somebody's at camp or when somebody approaches us, the first thing we ask them is, who's your father? Who do your people go back to? Not who's your mama, who's your father, who do your people go back to? What's your paternal lineage? That's the first thing we try to find out before we tell anybody they indeed, in fact, are a Israelite, right? Geographical location does not trump paternal lineage. I'm going to say that again. Geographical location does not trump paternal lineage. We understand that Israelites have been scattered amongst the heathen. We also understand that heathen have been scattered amongst us as well. Everybody on the island of Puerto Rico is not an Israelite. Everybody that is on the island of Haiti is not an Israelite. All right? The reason why those islands in certain places are on the chart is because they are hubs, basically. When it comes down to the indigenous people of Mexico, or the indigenous people of these islands that are named, we believe them to be Israelites, right? But everybody's not indigenous, to those places, so-called indigenous, right? Just like here in America, when it says African American Negro and it says North America, it doesn't mean that everybody who's a so-called black person is an Israelite. Right? Because we don't have a monopoly on being black and brown. We just don't. So it's going to take more than, skin color and phenotypes and geographical location for us to put somebody within Israelite lineage. Right? So this is Selma Hayek, Mexican-American actress. This is her surname. Her surname is Hayek. It's a Czech name, and it's also common among Arabic people. Right, so you see European surname, Arabic surname, and under Arabic surname, you see her right here. Selma Hayek, born in 1966, Mexican actress of Lebanese descent. I can end the video right now, of Lebanese descent, right? So she's Lebanese, all right? But this pretty much could be on her mom's side. We need to be pinpointing her father. So this says early life. Selma Hayek Jimenez was born in Veracruz, Mexico. Her father, Semi Hayek Dominguez, is of Lebanese descent. His ancestors hail from a city of Lebanon, a city Selma and her father visited in 2015 to promote their movie Khalil Gibran's The Prophet. He owns an industrial equipment firm and is an oil company executive in Mexico. He once ran for mayor of a city in Mexico. Her mother, Diana Jimenez, Medina is an opera singer and talent scout. She is of Spanish descent. So her mom's Spanish. Her mom's a Spaniard, which is an Edomite. Okay, and her father is Lebanese. Okay. Let's see. Let's see here. While visiting Madrid in an interview in 2015, Hayek described herself as a 50% Lebanese and 50% Lebanese, 50% Spanish, saying that her grandmother, maternal great-grandparents were from Spain, which this is not subscribed to by the Bible. This whole half and half nonsense. You just are what your father is, and we're going to get the scriptures on that. You know what I'm saying? Just to, because that's the bread and butter for this whole ideology, right? Who is your father? That's why I named it Who's the Father, right? Her younger brother, Sammy, is a furniture designer. Who gives a hell about that? Before we get into the scriptures, I pulled something else up on Selma Hayek, you know, just to get a second witness just outside of Wikipedia, which a lot of these articles that come from these websites about celebrities, they pretty much just copy and paste a lot of stuff from Wikipedia. But this is more kind of like more extensive and goes into a little bit more of her father's and mother's lineage. So it says Selma Hayek was born in Veracruz. Her father, Sammy Dominguez, is a business person of Lebanese descent. Her mother, Diana Jimenez, is an opera singer. So this is basically a lot of the information that we got from Wikipedia. The name Selma is Arabic for calm or peace. Her surname Hayek is common Lebanese surname. Selma is fluent in both English and Spanish and starred in English and Spanish language films. Okay, Selma is married to a French business person. Not like we give a damn about that. All right, Selma's paternal grandfather was Elias Hayek. So this is on her father's side, which is, you know, according to Israelite belief, you know, because we are a patriarchy, this is what determines what the child is, you know, the father's lineage. Selma's paternal grandfather was Elias Hayek Labahi, the son of Amido Hayek and Aurora Labadi. Elias was born in Mexico City to Lebanese parents from Ba'abda, Mount Lebanon. Amado was the son of George Hayek and Anastasia. Aurora was the daughter of Jose Labahi and Juana. Right? So, Selma's maternal grandfather was named Jimenez. Selma's maternal grandmother was named Lopez. Right? But we know that her mom goes back to Spaniards. Right? Selma's paternal grandmother, Aldia Dominguez, the daughter of Nayib Hib, later Nariso Dominguez Marun, and of Nesnefer, later Isabel Maroon Fons Fanos. Aldia was born in Mexico to Lebanese parents. So even on her grandmother's side, her paternal grandmother and her paternal grandfather, they're both Arabic, basically. So damn what she's talking about. She's 100% goddamn Arabic. Okay? You know, her pops, you know, both of his parents are Lebanese. You know, so that makes her Lebanese. Which really is just, you know, her father that makes her Lebanese anyway. It really didn't matter about, you know what I'm saying, the grandmother. But I just went into it because it's just sitting right here. You know, the information was there, so I just read it. But, so now let's get to the scriptures. This is Numbers 1 and 18. And then we're going to hit Ezra 2 and 59, I think. And then we're going to close out. Just to give biblical precedence for why we hold the stance that you are who your father is. Right? So Numbers 1 and 18 is, you know, I mean, it's good. It goes into, it shows who the men are that are able to be able to be in the army and go to war. And it says, it goes by the poles of their father's house, and it also mentions pedigrees. When you go into that word pedigree, it's dealing with lineage, right? So this is Numbers 1 and 18, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward by their poles. Ezra 2 and 59 actually is a better scripture to go to, because Ezra 2 and 59 would be more relatable to exactly what's going on with the Mamzer controversy. Somebody will tell you, both of your parents got to be Israelites for you to be an Israelite, which the Bible doesn't promote that. We can see that with Moses, his Zipporah's kids, the kids that were birthed by Zipporah, which she's not an Israelite, are called Levites because of Moses. That's who they came from. That's who the seed came from. It's about the seed. It's not necessarily about the soil that the seed was planted in. But in no way, shape, or form or fashion is this me promoting for brothers to go get with women of other nations. We tell brothers to stick with the sisters of the 12 tribes. We promote Israelite love. But nonetheless, if a brother was to go out here, a lot of brothers that were in the world at one point in time before they, had a renewal of, a thought process, have went out and had women by, had babies by white women and, Hamitic women or whatever, their kids are still Israelites, so, we just want to make that clear, and Ezra 2 and 59 proves it. This is a situation where you have a few brothers that can't show their father's house. So Ezra and Nehemiah, who are the leaders at this point in time, they put these kids away, right? Because they couldn't prove that they were Israelites. Now, if you keep reading later on, they did end up finding out that they indeed were Israelites, right? But as of right now, the key point of this verse is to establish how we reckon what a child is ethnically, right? So this is Ezra 2 and 59. And these were they which went up from Telamah till Harsa, Sherub, Adon, and Immer. But they could not show their father's house and their seed, whether they were of Israel. So how do you check if somebody is of Israel? You got to know who their father is. Why I didn't say the mama's house? Because they knew who these boys' mothers were. Their mothers were present. They couldn't find the fathers though. Okay, so in the case of Selma Hayek, she is not an Issacharite. She lives among Issacharites. She's probably played, depicted a few Issacharites, in her movie career, but she indeed is not an Israelite. Geographical location, although you may be from a place or a city that is named on the 12 tribes chart, that does not emphatically make you, whatever tribe stronghold, that they had over in that region. It doesn't make you them, and it doesn't make them you. So I just wanted to just go ahead and nip that in the bud. So that's the second installment of Who's the Father. So with that, I'm going to give Call Allah Yahweh Shai and say Shalom.